Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a little bit of something we investigated. If you were watching the live stream last night, you'll have seen there was a target to beat of 1:02.060 to get gold. The world target time, the world's fastest time is 1 minute 0.253 seconds, and we jumped in our car, the one we got from JB. He'd skinned it, so I just bought one of the cars from Brand Central. Whacked the skin on it, went for a drive and thought this will be absolutely epic. JB will have just made the relevant changes, he'll have put the right tyres on it, etc. And I couldn't drive it. We had a bit of a conversation about it being down to traction control, and I absolutely insisted it wasn't traction control. And I made the point that I'm not ready. I'm not ready to turn off traction control. It's not down to me. It's not my inability to drive. This car doesn't drive like it should. I noticed a notch in the steering wheel, so as I was turning a left-hand corner, the wheel would clonk, and I couldn't work out it was. So probably 40, 50, 60 laps in, I said, sod this, I'm going to change something. And I went in and I turned traction control off, tried to drive it, couldn't drive it. I then thought, sod this again, I'm going to do something else. And I went and changed to a stock car, and it drove completely differently. So, we'll talk about where I went to, but we're just going to say this is where I was when I started. This is where I was half an hour later. This is where I was 45 minutes later. And then this is where I was after an hour. 402nd in the world. And if I look at where I am today, number two on my friends list, which has never, well, it's not happened to me in a very long time. And we go to global ranking. I'm 422nd today. So what I've got to tell you is, to be able to beat this time trial, you've got to use a standard car, whether that is the rental, which is what we're going to use today, or a basic car bought from Brand Central without actually making any modifications. It's the wheels that are the problem. If you put wider wheels on or wider track, they don't have the radius to turn, you don't have the front end grip, and the car won't make the corners. So we're going to give you a demonstration of that. As you can see, I've got the car loaded up. We're not going to change to that one. I'm not going to rent. I'm going to select a car from the garage. It's this one. It's my one, and it's unmodified. Well, it's modified as I got it from JB. This was a skin that I downloaded from JB. So this is not JB's fault. This is something. BOP applied. Now, for the past year and a half, I've been playing this game and I've been making these videos. And when I've said you can affect the BOP, I've been shouted down and been told it's not true, you can't affect the BOP. The BOP is the same for everybody. It's a BOP car, you can't change nothing. Well, I can tell you today that's absolutely not the truth, unless this is a coding error from PD. So we can change the wheels and it changes the performance of the car. So it goes against everything I've ever been told, but it goes with everything I've thought to believe. When I was driving these cars, and we can go back to the Civic 20 in Deep Forest, we can go back to the Cayman GT4S at Nürburgring. Those two specifically, where I felt I changed the tyres and changed aero, changed the wheels and changed aero, the car behaved differently. Now, it was told to me that in the box, when you've got a model of a car on a track, it's in a box, and that box has been set by PD. And if you change the wheel, it doesn't matter because it's a box. Well, I can prove to you today that that's absolutely not true. If you change the wheels, you can change the grip of the car and you can do a faster lap. So what we're going to do now, we can see that this is bopped where it's yellow. 589 by 78, 389 horsepower, 44, it's all bopped. You can't change anything. You can't change anything on here. You can't change anything. Everything is fixed. You can't change it to anything. But you can go to the shop and you can change the wheels. But let's go and do it. Let's go and prove it. Let's go and run some laps. As we always do, we talk you through the settings. So the assist will be traction control 1, default ABS, nothing else on. We haven't got those two. Controller settings will be controller steering sensitivity 5, force feedback max torque 5, force feedback sensitivity 6. Let's jump on the track. Now we're in the car that is going to be affected. So I'm going to do my best in this car to set a faster time as we can. So let's talk about the lap as we go. We're only going to do 4 or 5 laps. Into second gear. Look how we missed the apex. I've braked really late. And I tell you where I'm not braked really late. I've braked where I'm supposed to. Changing gear as the rev gets to the top and braking just before the apex of that corner. Down to first gear, and I'm trying to get it into this corner. Accelerating out. The car is struggling to turn. The car is seriously struggling to turn. It won't get the power down. I can't turn the front wheels to get it to go in the fastest position possible. I'm back on the gas and I'm trying to get it out the corner with minimal wheel spin, so I've short shifted up. You can see my fastest time on the right hand side there, a 1:00.941, and that was achieved on like the 3rd or 4th lap of a stint. So as I come out the corner, a 1:04. Going to brake on the corner of that tarmac. I can't get into the corner. It won't slow down. You can see how the ghosts run really, really wide. I can't get the car to accelerate. And I don't think that's anything to do with the width of the car not accelerating, or the width of the wheels. Now I want to put it into 4th gear as I go around the corner, but I can't get it to grip. The front wheels won't grip. There's something wrong at the front end of the car. I haven't been able to show you the notch in the steering wheel. That hasn't happened yet. But the notch happens on tight left-hand corners. We've managed to get the car up through the rails into this final corner. We're marginally ahead of the Ghost, but I don't think we're going to be when we hit the line. No, I've gone red because I couldn't get it to turn. It was a faster lap though. Now we've managed to get it into the apex, but we're so much slower. I've outbraked myself. I can't get the car to turn. It won't tie in tight. And if you're experiencing this and you're feeling this, you'll know instantly, as I'm showing you, this is what it's like when you're driving the car and you're thinking, what is it? Oh, I'll turn TC off and I'll make myself faster because it's TC that's the problem. I can promise you folks, it's not TC. This is a poor tune because the wheels have been changed away from default. I can't get the thing to slow down. I've had to change down to second to get it to back out the corner. We're getting a red lap here. If you cross over this, you'll be red. But the 1:03.840 is my fastest lap yet, and we'll just treat this as the last lap where we've just overshot again. And once we've completed this lap, we're going to go down to Brand Central and we're going to find out what tyres are on this car. Not Brand Central, GT Auto. I'm going to try and put in a good lap. We're just slightly better at the time, so going to be a 1:03.5 something. 1:03.6. 5th lap, lap 5. Should we try it on lap 5? I can't get the car to slow down into the corner, and the front wheels won't turn either. See if we can do slightly better on lap 5. We're slightly behind, but Look how much the delta is moving backwards and forwards. It's red, then it's blue, then it's blue, then it's red. Current fastest time of 103.653 in this stint. And then the ghost will remain when we get back. So 103.917. That concludes this little test. And now we'll head off down to the garage. Let's just see what the optimal is. The optimal's a 103.492 against our fastest lap of a 103.653. So here we are down in GT Auto. We're just going to nip in and see what the stuff is on the car. So owned wheels. Currently on the vehicle are these ones. As you can see, they're a non-standard wheel. They're a Volt Racing G205. And the standard ones, they're a 17-inch standard. Standard size, standard side. You don't widen it up. And that's where we need to be. So we're not going to use this car now. We're going to go and use the rental. I'm going to leave that one set as it is. Stunning, absolutely stunning skin though by JB. Thank you very much, mate. It's always appreciated. You buy this vehicle in RCR in the USA. And as you can see, there's the standard car. It doesn't have, it has the front splitter, it has the rear valance on, it has the side skirts, it has all the bits and pieces in a standard car. And that is going to be, as I understand it to be, exactly the same as the rental. So that's what we're going to rent. We're going to rent the rental. Let's have a look at the BOP. So here it is on sports mediums. Everything is exactly the same. We can't change anything. We can't do anything with it. So settings are exactly the same. Let's go and give it a shot. Going to see how fast we can go with the standard car. And whether the wheels do affect the BOP. Already I'm right in on the apex. I don't think the car actually accelerates any differently. I just think it gets into the corner quicker. Struggling to make it accelerate out there, but I haven't got it into the corner correctly. Third gear into fourth, throttle buried. I've got TC on 1, so the throttle is being balanced by the traction control, not by me. As you all know, I've got a lead right foot. I don't have any sense of feel of throttle management. Not in this game. I do in my car when I'm driving regularly. I have confidence to get it into the corner in 5th gear then, braking down to 3rd. Look how much better it is coming out the lap. Look at that, a 102. So already a 1.5 seconds quicker. A little bit quieter out there because I messed up the entry because I braked too late, but much better into that corner this time. Up the gears into 3rd. I missed the apex there, but that's driver error. We're a 10th down. Look at that 2nd gear into the corner. We caught up so much. Didn't quite beat that one out, but the tyre marks just here are where you brake for that corner. 3rd gear through the apex, going to roll it round back on the gas. And a very little bit of important information from Neil last night from NW555 was when you can see the hole shot, then you accelerate. When you've got a straight line to go at with no grass in the way, that's when you get on the grass to accelerate. We're already ahead, you can physically see it. Just got to throttle manage a little bit there. You can see how much closer we were then. Am I going to get anywhere near my best time? Really able to cut in and cut that apex now. So what have we learned? We're already demonstrating we're in gold time. Gold is now really achievable. You don't need to actually change out of third gear. Well, third gear is the lowest gear you need to have. I'll see if I can demonstrate that this time round, where we stay in third gear and just balance the car around the whole lap. Third gear in. When we can see the exit, we accelerate. We blew it just a teeny bit there. You can see how much we're able to really motor there in third gear. Keeping it in fourth round the final corner. We're half a second up almost at that point. A 1015. And that was lap 5 done. So we're smashing gold at this point, folks. We're probably in the top 1,000 cars with that time. I didn't believe it last night when they told me I was top 400. But there we have it, folks, and absolutely unequivocal proof that you can change the BOP. You can change parts and you can tune a car to meet BOP, because there are parts that you can change that will allow you to affect the performance of the car. Now, I don't know whether that's intentional. All I actually know is that what we've discovered. And there's a few things I need to just point out. I am not fast. I am not one of those people who you'll see smashing out this time of performance every week. I'm just a committed, dedicated person who's trying to just prove that you can be slow and you can still get gold, and you can compete with the boys at the top. Don't be bullied into turning TC off. You can be fast with TC. You just have to understand what the game is going to let you use to go fast. TC will get you a gold. If you're fighting the car because you don't know how to drive it, because it doesn't make sense, don't turn TC off. Leave it on. TC changed in update 1.31. It went from, we lost that then. It went from TC1 to about TC 0.5. They gave you something back, and I've actually been able to make TC work for me. It just allows that little bit that I can't do with my right foot. Now, if that makes me a bad driver, that makes me a bad driver, but top 400, folks. And this test hasn't moved time-wise in a little while. While I can't quite equal my performance from last night, that out there, folks, is a 101527, which will get you gold all day long. And I know there's people out there faster than me, but hey, TC1. There it is, TC1. Alright, I'm going to see if we can do it this lap. Let's see where we can go. I thought I was having all sorts of dramas with ABS last night. That I was breaking through the ABS point and locking the wheels up. Well, I was, but it was the tyres that were the problem. The tyres weren't allowing me to steer the car. Can't get right down deep into that corner. We lost a lot coming out that final corner, didn't we? Let's hopefully get this down below 105. There's a 1013. Now what I did do there was put in a really strong start of lap, which is always going to make it difficult then to chase your ghost. And there's another tip. I've got my ghost at 0.9. Fourth gear before you get under the bridge. That'll allow you to do some catching up. Look at that time fall away against the ghost, and this is where I messed up. First gear to try and get the car into that corner. Not so good. But there you have it, folks. Fastest of the session, a 101.3550. And let's see where that would get you in sort of gold against where we are. So a fastest of 101.125 potential. But from last night, my fastest potential would have been a 100.735, which would have been absolutely epic. But let's have a look at that ranking board and let's see where we would have been. In my friends lists, that would have put me in roughly 10th or 12th place. A 101.35, wouldn't it? And gold required is a 102.060. So the same for what it was for me last night. You'd be easily in gold and assured gold of the future. So what did we learn today? We learned that the BOP isn't fixed. You can affect BOP by changing wheels at this time. I've no evidence to say that aero changes or the suspension changes, because they've changed the suspension back to that. But if they're really doing what they should do, they should be locking the tyres, so the wheels, so you can't change the wheels. In my opinion only. But we'll have to understand that as we go on. But with that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for all the help last night on the stream. It was really useful, and hopefully you guys will start to pick up on the fact that it's within your bounds, your reach, your grip to be able to go faster. There's a lot of voices out there on the internet. There's a lot of voices in YouTube that tell you you can't do it. You need to buy this, you need to do that, you need to do that. It's not exactly true, folks. Don't believe and hear, listen and read everything you hear on the internet and think it's true. It's not. On this channel, what we try and do is help you go fast by doing what's right for you, and we try and prove it with facts rather than just peer pressure. But it's up to you. As always, from this channel, take with it from what you will. Try it, test it, feel it, and if you're not feeling it, it's not right for you. There we go, folks. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care. Thank you very much.